Okay, here we go. All right, welcome to Friday Night Live with John.
And Patty.
A highlight of your month, I bet.
Easy.
What?
You laughed when you said that.
Well, because you really think that. Oh, you do? Okay, you do. Okay.
I do.
All right. We are going to get right into my announcements. And for those of you who have been anxious to do another detox, we are going to do a group one starting on November 4th, which is a Monday.
Mhm.
All right. So pre-cleanse will start on November 4th. And, you've got a couple weeks to prepare. I figure now's the time to do it before the holidays kick in and too much frivolities and food and whatever else. And we need to cleanse our bodies and have a good base for not wanting to overindulge. So we'll have more information coming out on that soon, and you can get your detox kits and join us. All right, testimonials. We love testimonials. If you haven't written one for us, please do. You can email it to us. Also, in each office, there is a QR code for Google. If you wanted to do a Google review as well, we'd appreciate that. And if you write us a testimonial, you will get either $50 towards product, or you'll get a complimentary body wrap or foot bath or facial. All right, our next Zoom call will be Friday, November 22nd, which is the fourth Friday. So I'm going to talk in a minute about why we're not doing it on the third Friday. And referrals, we also love referrals. So tell your friends and family about us and have them call and schedule a time to meet with John. Our custom meal plans we've talked about. A lot of clients have enjoyed getting new meals, new foods to prepare for themselves, because it can get a little boring sometimes with the same old routine of grilled chicken and broccoli. So if you need that, let us know. And we want to know, what topics would you like to learn about? So each month we do this. We've been doing these Zooms since COVID, when we stopped doing our in-house classes. So we try to come up with a topic every month, but if there's something that you specifically want us to teach about, let us know. Send us a chat, send us an email, text John, because we love getting texts from all you guys. And we'll see what we can come up with. So the reason we're not doing our Zoom call on the third Friday is because we will be setting up at the Natural Living Expo in Marlborough, Massachusetts. It's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, but we need to get there Friday night and set up. It's a huge, like this says, 200 exhibitors. We have a big booth, and we met Michelle there last year, and she's become a godsend doing massages for all of you and us too. I'm getting a massage from her on Monday. Can't wait. I meet a lot of nice people, and if you are looking for something to do that weekend, you can get your tickets now online. There's their website down the bottom, naturalexpo.org. And we are at booth 604.
Clayton, how good are the massages?
Really good.
Awesome. All right. Michelle, give a wave so everybody can see you. If they haven't already met you, there she is. And I think June and Dale are getting massages next week. Yes, they are. Thumbs up from them. All right. Wonderful.
I see Georgiana.
I don't know. Georgiana join us?
No. Guess not.
No, Don Alexander did.
Oh, Don
Hey,
Alexander.
Dawn.
Okay. Hi, Don.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Hey. So tonight we were going to talk about what makes
Before we
you
get-
unhealthy.
I got something before
But
that.
before we jump into that,
I have an announcement to make. First of all, we have a new family member.
Mhm.
And it's not Tatum. well, Tatum is here, but we have a new business family member. Started on Wednesday, so today is her third day working. I'm gonna ask her, she's here right now. Her name is Trish. Few of you have met her. She'll be working in the East Hampton, Southwick offices. Trish, why don't you come around? Show your beautiful face here.
How do we get to them?
Let's see. This is Trish. She's I did a consultation on her and she said, I really would like to get into something like this. And we talked for a while and she decided that this is what she wants to do. So she started this week. And I just want everybody to know, see the face, and you'll be talking to her on the phone. And you'll be seeing her when you come into the two offices here. So if you have any questions, anything, this is the person to ask. We're gonna train her, just like I've trained Patty and other people, but I plan on her being here for a good long period of time. She promised me, we put the shackles on her so she can't leave. So we've already got that done. So thank you for being here and
You're quite welcome.
Okay.
I look forward to meeting every one of you in person.
okay,
All right,
thanks.
nice.
Okay. The other thing that I want to mention too, on November 2nd, we will not be open in any of our offices that day. Patty and I are going to Orlando, Florida for a 1-day training seminar on our Zyto program. And so just be cognizant of the 2nd of November, we're not going to be in the offices. Just want to give you people a heads up. Schedule early. If you need something, let us know so that we can make sure we get it to you, okay? Possible, depending on how Trish is doing, maybe we could have her work that day and answer in Southwick or whatever, but for right now, that's the way we'll leave it, okay? But I just want to let everybody know. We're gonna learn a lot more about the Zyto and how we can use it for everybody's benefit. So I decided we were gonna do that. And we haven't had training on it for a long time, so,
Yeah,
okay. So you were gonna say,
I was gonna say, we're gonna talk about what makes us unhealthy. Okay, there are lots of things, but we are going to zone in on a couple of things. So poor diet is one of them.
yep,
Lack of hydration. I see a lot of you with your water bottles. That's great. Toxic overload, which is everything. It's the air we breathe, the food we eat, the what's it called? Social media overload of
News.
too much information coming at us all at once. Low self-esteem is another one. But the biggie, stress.
So we're gonna talk about stress again, because every time I talk to people, there's so much stress going on in our lives from every facet of our life, okay? Family, finances, business, politics, everything. Everything is stressing people out. And it seems to be getting worse. So, we're coming up to the holidays, and some of you heard me say this. I don't know, between Thanksgiving and New Year's, there are more heart attacks, strokes, etc., than the rest of the year combined. Reason? Some of the things that is on the screen: poor diet, we eat bad, lack of hydration, we don't drink water, we drink other things perhaps, or we just don't have time, toxic overload, and then low self-esteem and stress. There's jokes that go around about Thanksgiving. We have the family come in and it creates a lot of stress. But it's people joke about it, but it's really true. That's when stress starts. Why? Everybody's trying to be perfect. Everybody wants to have their home just right for the visitors. They want to have all the food that anybody could eat. They want to have everything. They're worried about what, uncle is going to say and do, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it causes stress. And so stress is something that we have all the time. We know it. And every one of you out there, whether you're working, whether you're retired, I joke with, or not joke, but I talk to Clayton a lot. He says he's busier retired than he was when he was working. Okay. So we take on more stress all the time because we feel as individuals that we just have to keep doing more for everybody. And we're going to talk a little bit about different things. We're going to talk about stepping back. We're going to talk about why you need to take care of yourself. And most of this is caused by lack of self-love. Self-love. We have low self-esteem because we have lack of self-love. We eat poorly a lot of times because we don't love ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. We don't drink the water and stuff because we don't think about it. People tell me, I don't even think about it. Well, we need to think about it because if you don't have hydration, you die. Your body can't function. An example I use for people, and I've used it yesterday or the other day for somebody that's on the Zoom right now, is that if you're raising a garden and you have no water, what happens to the garden? It dies. Well, the body is no different. Okay, we need in our body hydration just like everything else. We need to get rid of the toxins. Part of hydration is getting rid of toxins because it cleans it out, flushes it. So these are some of the things we're going to talk about tonight, and I hope you get something out of it. And we are going to start out by talking about self-esteem. Okay, there's many things about self-esteem. First of all, there's high self-esteem and there's low self-esteem. Most of the time we talk about low self-esteem, but high self-esteem is just as regular as low self-esteem. Neither one are good. All right. People say, oh, that person really thinks themselves really highly. Sometimes we think of ourselves a little too highly. All right. And we get a little cocky, and that's not healthy for us or the people around us. But self-esteem really has to do with feelings and perception. Okay. And a lot of times the reason that we have problems with self-esteem comes back to self-love. We don't think of ourselves like we should. We don't look at ourselves the way we should look. We look at other people. I can look at Patty or Trish and say, oh, they got it all together. When they make a mistake, I might say, hey, you made a mistake, it's okay. When I make a mistake, I get all over myself. I cuss myself out. I call myself a jerk or whatever it might be. And that is very, very hard on ourselves. Because we hear what we're saying. If you think about what would happen if you talk to other people the way you have a tendency to talk about yourself, to yourself, or think about yourself, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't have many friends, believe me. Okay. So we have to understand that we've got to start talking to ourselves the same way we would talk to other people. And that is with good self-love. So people that it's feelings, okay? We feel certain way. If I come on board when Patty and I showed ourselves in the screen and everybody was saying hello, that makes you feel good. That's good feelings. That gives you good self-esteem. I've joked around saying that this is the highest, the best thing that people wait for each month. And I know better, but for me, it's the thought of, I like to think that people look forward to it because it's something that we do. Patty and I do. We put this together, more Patty than me, but we put it together. We put the effort in. We want people. So that's a feeling. And then you come to perception. Now, a lot of things are perceived. Okay. What is perception? Perception is as real as anything else. You have to understand that a perception, if I feel that Patty dislikes me, for example, okay, that's my perception. She can say, well, I don't, I don't care one way or the other. I do like you, whatever it might be. But my perception can be different. And that can be just as strong to me as reality or real feelings. So we have to understand that there are certain things that people have, it's a perception. And a lot of times we just kind of laugh it off. We say, well, they have a weird perception of something that they don't like us or whatever. But then we have to turn around and we have to say to people and let them know and get the feeling that they do. Give them that hug, give them that feeling of camaraderie and love and respect, etc. So we can make our own self-esteem. We can't judge other people's self-esteem. We have to, when we see somebody with low self-esteem, we need to try to help people build their self-esteem. Okay. And that's really, really the thing that we want to do with each other. And that's part of love, self-love. Now, when you take people with high self-esteem, those are the people that are really cocky. They tell you, I'm the best there is. I'm this, I'm that. And they brag about things. It's okay. We just have to ignore them and stay away. But we can't look at those people and say, well, they have high esteem. Therefore, I don't feel that way about myself. So I have low self-esteem. It's somewhere in the middle. Everything is in the middle. And that's the way our life is. That's the way our health is. That's the way everything is. Somewhere in the middle. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. It's never all one way, never the other way. It's somewhere in the middle. So we have to work on our self-esteem. What causes low self-esteem? That is many things, okay? Feeling I can't do it. I just can't. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of being in the company of certain people. Or I have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. And if it's not, then it's wrong. Nobody is perfect. There's only one perfect person that's ever walked the face of this earth, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, that's it. So we have to understand we're never going to be perfect. Are we going to be think we're worthy in every single situation? No, not at all. But we've got to understand that we are as good as anybody else. Okay, we can make ourselves worthy. And then people get this idea, I cannot make a mistake. Everybody's going to make a mistake. Okay, I talked to Trish. She's going to make mistakes. Okay, we understand it. We accept it. We make mistakes, and I've been doing this for 25 years. Rarely do I, but no, just kidding. That's my high self-esteem, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but we all make mistakes, and you got to get over the idea that you can't make a mistake, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, no matter where it is, you are going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in your relationship. You're going to say things you shouldn't have said. You're going to do things you shouldn't have done, etc. And it's all about learning what you did. And if somebody does it to you, you forgive. You're not good enough. That's a perception. Okay. And if we carry that perception long enough, then sooner or later, we're not going to be good enough. And a lot of these traits, the next one, nobody loves me. A lot of that comes from childhood. Most of our stuff comes from childhood. If we grew up in an environment, or if we live in an environment where, especially as a child, they're being always told that they're not good enough, or that they're not loved, or the parents don't pay attention to them, they don't do things with them, they are going to grow up, or we grew up thinking nobody loves me, or I'm not good enough. For me, I struggled mightily with some of those things because my sister and I were abandoned as 2 and 3-year-olds. It's hard to understand why parents would give you up and walk away from you and then think later on, it's a fluke, or we have a tendency to carry that. But it's hard work to tell yourself and work through it and say, that's not true. That was just somebody that made a mistake. Okay? So that's how we develop low self-esteem. So, a lot of times mental health, we've always talked about mental health, and I want to touch on this because people for years, people say, we don't want to talk about mental health. It's quiet. We hide it, we carry it, etc. In today's environment, sometimes I think the pendulum might have swung the wrong, too far, maybe, okay, where every little thing becomes a problem and people need to tell you everything. But again, it's somewhere in the middle. So we always thought that having issues with emotions or feeling down or depressed was a thing we didn't want to talk about, okay? But here's the thing. What we need to understand is that our mental health is connected to our physical health. Our mental health is connected to our spiritual health. So is spiritual health and physical health attached to a mental health. So everything is completely connected. So when we talk to people about mental health, we have to talk to them about the things they eat. What are you eating and what are you putting in your body? Just like you talk about what thoughts are you taking in, what information are you gathering from other people, we have to talk about what food are you putting in your body. Because certain foods and chemicals create a reaction to the brain, which causes a gut-brain connection, which causes inflammation in the system, which causes chronic stress, and which causes issues with mental health. What do you supplement? You're not going to get all your nutrients through food. I'm sorry to tell you, it's impossible. And the person who tells me that they eat organic, they don't eat anything, you're still not going to get everything. Okay? Who do you associate with? Sometimes in getting well, whether it's physically, mentally, or spiritually, we have to change our friends. We have to change the people that are around us. Because negativity draws negativity. And if you're around people that are always negative, in time you will become negative. We are what we associate with, okay? If we're around positive people, we have a much greater propensity to be positive, no matter what else is going on. You take somebody who is down and out, and you put them in two or three people that are happy, excited, talkative to them, they will lift themselves up, and all of a sudden they have forgotten about the fact that they are down and out in the rock, etc., and things going on. Because what happens is when we have a faulty chip in our brain, and we all get it at times, believe me, okay? The three of us sitting here have had it. All of you have had it. Everybody you know have had it. It comes and it goes. And what happens is when we try to treat it with food, when we try to treat it with drugs, when we try to treat it with aloneness, we're going to fall into a system of low self-esteem, feeling bad about ourselves, for ourselves, etc., and it spirals downhill. Why? Because normally we eat wrong, which creates a problem with insulin. Insulin resistance affects the brain. It affects the neurotransmitters. And then what happens is the toxic issues get into the brain. We've done classes on the brain, and the brain is primarily made up of fat. Fat is toxic. So we have we have a brain that's corroded with fat. And then what we do is we put more toxins, which we know that fat absorbs toxins. Then we wonder why the brain goes bad. And cleaning up the brain for people that are getting ready to start a program, just started a program, you will find out that when you have brain fog lifts. We have had people working here and they started a program, and the first few days they couldn't think of anything. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The brain just gets overwhelmed because of the toxins that are being drawn out of the brain. In actuality, just like people feel nauseous when they first start a program, they're drawing toxins out of the body. So the brain is no different. But when we're living our life and we start doing things, especially over the holidays, and abusing ourselves, it's no wonder that people go off the deep end, and you hear about all the crazy things people do that normally you would say That person's normal. All of a sudden they just went off the deep end. 9 times out of 10, it is because they abuse themselves overly and all those different things, the inflammation, the insulin resistance, which creates an unhealthy gut, which creates a neurotransmitters to falter, it's chronic stress, and then we snap. Okay? And we don't want anybody around here snapping, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay. So will stress lead you to having low self-esteem? You think?
Yes.
Okay. So, yes. Okay, stress. When we're stressed, and I had a lady come in this morning, she's been coming in for a long time, and her and her husband he got laid off. She's going through some stuff that and they're going through some things because he's laid off. And she said, every time we get things right, something else comes around. Here's the problem with that. When we expect things to go wrong, they will go wrong, period. So we can get into a rut where we think, okay, we finally got this fixed. He got his job, he got another job, everything's gonna be fine. But we know in our mind, and our brain is so powerful, something else is going to happen. And I can almost guarantee you it's going to happen, whether it's real or it's a perception. Okay. We can take perceptions and make that real if we want to. We can believe it is real. All right. So we have to understand that stress leads to low self-esteem. So how do we do it? Okay. How do we take care of that? First thing is we have to understand if you have a problem and you cannot fix it, you cannot worry about it. It has to be, can I fix this? So we'll use the person that got laid off. Can they fix it? Yeah, to a degree, but will it take time? Yes. So in that time, they cannot sit and stress over it. If that gentleman sits around and stresses about, nobody's called me yet, nobody's called me, every interview he goes on is going to be more negative because he believes I went to these interviews and nobody calls me back. So his self-esteem is going to be lower every time he goes. How do you turn it around? You have to start thinking positive and think things like, you know what? It's probably a good thing they didn't call me because it probably wouldn't have been a fit. I just have to find fit. And that's the way we have to live. We're all going to have setbacks. We are. And anybody who says you're not is foolish. Okay? Anybody who believes they're not going to go through any stress is from Mars or Venus, depending on what sex you are. Okay? So it's going to happen. The only way it's not going to happen if you're not on this earth, period. So we have to understand we are going to go through stress. Things are going to happen. We have to turn our thoughts to the positive. For every negative, there is a positive. I guarantee you of that. All right. So we have to see, it isn't how people think about us. It's how we think about ourselves. Okay. It's how we see ourselves. If I feel run down, if I feel like nobody listens to me, if I feel like I don't have enough, that's what's going to happen. I'm never going to have enough because enough will never be enough because I won't let it be enough. So no matter what I get, I want more. It's not enough. So that's how we lead to positive self-esteem. Think positive. If you have spiritual health, spiritual faith, lean on it. Lean on it because it is what guides us, in my opinion. Okay. I cannot read scripture and be depressed. Okay. I can't. All right. So do something that brings you out of that doldrum that we're going to fall into here and there. And it'll shorten it and it'll make it less dramatic and it'll lift you out of those feelings and help your self-esteem. Because, and I'm not going to get into preaching, I promise, but everywhere in the Bible it says you are loved. If you think about that you are loved, then how can you be unhappy? Because I know somebody loves me, okay? Yeah.
Looking at me? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So so stress. Yes, we have to get rid of stress, and some of this stress is self-imposed. We do it to ourselves. What is anxiety and stress? Okay. In actuality, anxiety and stress is a state of being uneasy. Okay, we're uneasy about everything. So when we start thinking about it, we don't have to be thinking about it. People say it just comes on for no reason. No, there's a reason. Your brain is thinking about something. It may not be right there in the frontal lobe, but it's there. Apprehension or worry about what may happen in the future. Okay. The politics right now. Oh my goodness. What if she gets, oh my goodness. Are you going to be able to fix it? No. Okay. I don't care who gets elected. We are going to continue on. Okay. In my mind, if it's the person I didn't vote for, okay, maybe I think it could have been better. But you know what? All I got to do is say, I got to live with what it is, and I'll just take care of myself. If it's the other way around, I might say, oh, it's going to be better now. And so it probably will be because that's my belief. That's what I want it to be. If the other person's elected, I probably don't want it to be good because I want to be right. Okay. Because I said in the beginning, if he or she, I go that way, so I'm middle road here, okay?
Neutral.
Gets elected, it's going to be bad. Well, when it happens, I'm going to go, oh boy, here we go down that slope, and it's going to be bad. So, and it will be for you. And then you'll look at the other people are happy and say there's something wrong with them because they shouldn't be happy because things are bad. Okay. We do that to ourselves. So when it comes to that, I'm just using that topic, all you can do is vote. Once you vote, hey, majority rules. Okay. We can believe that they were wrong. We can believe that everybody else was right. It's okay. And then having a feeling of being powerless. Well, when it comes to all that, we are powerless. You have one little thing you can do. The rest of it is out of your hands. So if we worry about what we can do or what we should do, you just have to understand this is all you can do. And then do that. Make sure you do it. Because if you don't, in this situation, you don't vote, you have no right to complain. I don't care who wins, who loses. You have no right. You just need to sit back and be quiet. Okay. And then being able to cope with the event. It says with a threatening event, but a threatening event, we're all going to go through stress. So if somebody attacks you, that's a threatening event. You're going to have anxiety and stress for that moment. And which is a good thing because that's called fight or flight. That is called cortisol levels, okay, will increase for a short period of time. But once that's over, we have to let it go. It's over. The threat is the past. It's over. Now I take care of myself. I do what I can do to do the right thing for me. And when I say for me, I mean that sincerely because we have to start understanding we have to take care of ourselves first and foremost. My belief is God and then me. If I don't take care of me, I cannot be a good employer to Patty and Trish. I can't be a good mentor for the people that are listening. I can't be a good father. I can't be a good friend. I can't be a good anything if I don't take care of me. Because what happens is I'll fail and everybody will end up having to take care of me in some form or fashion. Okay. Once they get tired of taking care of me, they'll ignore me. What happens to my self-esteem then? It's down, gone. Okay. So it can be, sometimes it seems selfish to say, and many times when I do consultations, I say you have to take care of yourself first. And people say, yeah, but I got so many other things. You're never going to take care of them if you don't take care of yourself. And you're always going to have anxiety or stress because you're going to be thinking, I can't do everything I need to do. And if you start thinking that, that is called stress. That is called anxiety because it's always on your mind. There's not a person out there that I know that's listening that doesn't want to be there for whoever they need to be there for and the people that they love. Okay, pause here. Jeff, come on in. Jeff just came in, which is Trish's husband. So welcome him in. Okay. Okay. So that's what stress, that's what anxiety is. Okay. Now, next. So how do we take steps to feel better about ourselves? Okay. And when it says yourself, I'm saying ourself. Okay. First thing you have to do is you have to identify the troubling condition. You have to understand what it is. Think about the conditions or situations that seem to deflate your self-esteem. What are they? Okay. And sometimes we just have to walk away from things. And sometimes we have to walk away from people. Friends, sometimes family. Sorry to say, but sometimes family can drag us down to a point where we can't cope. All right. We don't like to do it. So we have to understand that what are the triggers that cause these problems? It can be work, school, a presentation that we're going to do. It can be a crisis at work, a challenge with spouse, because we know that every relationship there's trouble. Somewhere, sometime there are little bumps and bruises. Okay. I had another client in today who is having trouble with her stepson's wife, and her stepson's wife was putting stuff on the internet about her, and her husband didn't step up for a day and a half to address it. And she said, I was ready to tell him I'm packing up and going to my daughter's and there until you decide which direction you're taking. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to make the tough call and decision because it was weighing on her too hard and creating too much stress. It can be coworkers, close friends, all kinds of things can cause us to have issues. A change in roles, as we were talking about, a new job, children graduating, having a grandchild, different things happen. Patty and I talked about as her kids grew up, because she was in everything I ever saw, they were in a very, very close family relationship. But when her two daughters, got boyfriends and then married, she didn't see them as much. They weren't coming around like they used to on every Sunday. And she used to say, I feel lonely. That's some things situations that can make us kind of fall into a lower self-esteem, create some anxiety and stress. Now that they're gone and they got their husbands and everything, she seems to be enjoying life. No, just kidding.
No, I see them often enough.
Okay. Second, we have to be aware of our thoughts and beliefs. Okay. If we block everything out, and pretend it's not happening, that is troublesome. Now, men have a tendency to do that more than women do. Women have a much more tendency to open up, say what they want, cry, whatever it might be. Men have a tendency to say, I'm tough, I don't need to talk to anybody. It's my problem. Leave me alone. Okay. But we have to understand whether we're male or female, we have to open up. We have to let it out. We have to lean on people once in a while to get rid of some of the negative thoughts, beliefs. We don't need somebody who is constantly just agreeing with us. That is a bad situation. I have a coworker who's really bad, and everybody says, "Oh yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right." That creates a problem for that person as well. We need people that will be honest with us. We have to be around people that will tell us what they believe is right. We don't have to agree with them. We don't have to get angry with them. But if we're not willing to listen when we start having issues or thoughts and listen to another side, then that's a problem that we have. We have to be open to hearing things. It's hard because we believe we are right. Very few people do things and say, I'm wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. I'm going to act this way towards somebody and I'm wrong, but I'm still going to do it. So we have to understand that we have to be rational. We have to reason and look at the facts, and whether they're rational or irrational, we have to base our judgment on truth. So simply ask ourselves, if whatever we're believing, is it true? We have to ask ourselves, would I say this stuff, what I'm feeling or believing, to a friend? If we don't say it to someone else, then we have to make sure we don't say it to ourselves. Okay? Because if we start running ourselves down, if we start believing we're wrong all the time, then we lose our self-esteem and we become unhappy people. We don't like ourselves. And then once we start not liking ourselves, guess what other people do? Start not liking you.
Mhm.
It's the way life is. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. When we're positive, with positive people, we're more positive. When we're negative people, we're more negative. If we're with people that love themselves, we'll love ourselves more, and vice versa. Okay, so number 3, challenge negative or inaccurate thinking. Okay, ask yourself things like, is this real? Is this the way I should be thinking? Is this the way my mother or father would think about me? We have to ask ourselves questions, and it's all about questions, not dissertations, it's questions. How should I handle this? What is the truth? Okay? So it's hard to recognize our inaccuracies, our inabilities, and whether it's thinking or physical, it's hard. And long-term thoughts and beliefs, as I mentioned, especially as from childhood, feels normal. Okay, when people say things and you go, wow, they're way out there, they feel it's normal. Okay, maybe they are normal and we're not, and we're listening to things. I don't know, but we have to talk it out. We have to think about it. We have to listen, learn, not be judgmental, but we have to think about the things that people are saying to us and what we're saying to people. Is it real or am I just fabricating? Okay. Then we have to adjust our thoughts. We have to adjust. We have to treat ourselves with kindness and encouragement. So instead of being negative, and remember I said when I make mistakes, and Patty will concur to this, how I beat myself up, right?
Stupid man, I think is what you usually say to yourself.
Yeah, I'll get mad at myself and do something wrong, and I realize, I go, oh, what a stupid man you are. Okay, and that's not really good, all right? So I work hard on that. So sometimes when Patty hears me say things, she'll look at me and go, what? And I go, oh, talking to somebody else. Okay. Instead of thinking that something isn't going to go well, okay, just think about, you know, it's going to be tough, but I'm up to the situation. I can handle it. I'm good. Forgive yourself. You make a mistake, forgive yourself. Just like you would forgive somebody else. Hopefully you forgive other people for their mistakes. But remember, people tell me, well, I forgive them because they're human. So what are you? If you don't forgive yourself, are you saying you're not human? You have to understand you are going to make mistakes. You're going to do things and say things you wish you could take back. All right. But you said them. And as long as they're isolated moments, they're isolated situations, it's okay. You made a mistake, which doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you a horrible person that should be downtrodden by you or anybody else. And then, of course, avoid certain statements. The word should and must, get rid of them. Okay. Don't put unreasonable demands on yourself. I should know this. I must get this right. That is wrong. There's nobody that has to do everything right because you're not going to do it. So you have to remove those words. My sister does a lot of life coaching, and she talks about the terms always and never are non-words. They don't work, okay? Because there is nothing that's always and there's nothing that's never. So as I work with Trish in the last 3 days, I tell her, okay, there's some abnormalities in here, so I'm going to teach you this, but there's going to be some quirks, okay? So there is never an always or a never. There's not anything like you should and you must. So eliminate those words from your vocabulary when you're talking to yourself and other people. It's going to make you happier. It's going to make other people happier with you, etc. You got to focus on the positive. We talked a little bit earlier. For every situation, there is a positive. We had a couple of hurricanes down south. There's some positives there. There is. We talked to some of the people, they get up, even though their homes are gone. They talk about some of the positive things, how they're working with other people, how the neighbors, the communities have come together, how they went to the churches and they prayed together where they weren't doing it before. So there's always a positive, but we have to find it. And sometimes you have to dig through a lot of chaff to find it. It's hard sometimes to find it. When negative things come about, think about focus on the positive, focus on the things you've learned, I should say. Okay, if it was negative, learn what we would do different next time, because some of those things might come up again. Relabel upsetting thoughts. We don't have to react negatively to every negative thought. So if you think about the negative thoughts as signals, just like in your health, you get a pain somewhere, that's a sign, that's a signal that there might be something that you want to do differently. Okay, maybe you exercise too hard. Maybe you say to yourself, okay, next time, instead of 45 minutes, I'm going to do 30 minutes. All right. So what can you do to make things less stressful, whether it's emotional or physical? Think about the opposite side. What can I do to change it? If you said talk to somebody in a tone and they got upset, think about, okay, how can I do it better next time so that that person doesn't feel put down or inadequate, whatever it might be. And then encourage yourself. We have to encourage ourselves all the time. We always want to encourage other people. Patty, you did a great job. Patty says, oh, thank you. But when do we credit ourselves? When do we tell ourselves, hey, you know what? I did a good job. That presentation that I did, that test I took, I did good on it, but I could probably do a little better. That's okay. It wasn't perfect. But you know what? People saw it, they liked it, they listened to me, they asked questions, whatever it might be. So that means you accomplished the goal. I remember a few weeks ago, I did a presentation in a church in Springfield. And I got done, and the pastor came up to me after I was done kind of mingling around. And he said, there's a whole bunch of people want to know if you'll ask, if they can ask you questions. Will you come up and take the microphone? I probably answered questions for probably 40 minutes. Okay.
Wow.
Which was encouraging because, you know, obviously it got across to people. People felt good. And that was very encouraging. So we have to look for those kind of things to encourage ourselves rather than belittle ourselves and think, you know what, this presentation wasn't as good as it should have been. No, think about, I probably helped some people. Maybe next time I'll do a little bit better, but this was good for tonight. Okay. We have to understand that some people are never free from troubles because they keep their mind attuned to the worry. And the mind attracts that which it dwells on. That's again, going back to what I said earlier, positive negates positive. How many of you have ever said when something happens, or if you have a business, when it gets busy, it's horrendously busy. When it's not busy, nothing happens. We've talked about that.
Mhm.
Okay. So we call it when it rains, it pours. And that's for good and bad. All right. When things start going wrong, if we put our mind to the negative, everything is going to be seen bad. Nothing's going to go right. So Patty had a funny day yesterday. She couldn't get out of her car because the seatbelt wouldn't unlatch. Okay. She had to crawl out from underneath the seatbelt. Okay. Now, if she would have, she was sitting at home, she called her husband, he didn't even answer the phone. Coming out for it. So if she would have dwelled on that, it could have messed up the whole night. Okay. You know what? I was trapped in my car. I couldn't get out. I called my husband. He's sitting in the house 10 feet away from me, didn't answer the phone. So the mind can go really wrong if we're not careful. Instead, it became funny.
Yeah.
Okay, laid the
That's
seat
funny.
back and I had to crawl up from underneath the seat belt, go in and find them, what my husband doing, he was engrossed probably in TV or something and wasn't paying attention to his phone. So, but it's all funny. But we have to get away from dwelling on the problem. When something goes wrong, we can't walk around and mope and pout and be angry. We say, hey, it's okay. It's for the moment. Who cares? It's going to change. Everything changes, good and bad. Okay. Okay. There is a way out of every obstacle. That way starts in the mind. If you can change your mind, you will change your life. In other words, if you want to be happy, if you're not happy and you want to be happy, you got to change your mindset. Okay. And that will change your life. If you're struggling with a relationship and you're dwelling on it, change your mind. It's okay. I can't change the person. I'm not going to try to change a person. I married this person for whatever the reason was. Think about that and go back to it. Okay. Work at changing your mind so we can change our life. Okay. Something here I like. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. And that's true. Everything follows us, good or bad. Okay. But it's in our mind. The mind is the most powerful thing in our bodies, more powerful than the heart, the lungs, the kidneys. The mind governs everything. Our body can do almost anything. Okay. And that is proven by people that are so unhealthy that they just keep on functioning. The body can withstand a lot. It may not be comfortable. It may hurt, but it can withstand it. But it's the mind that you have to convince. So if you're going to be exercising or you're going to be taking on a new job, you're going to be getting into a new relationship, whatever it is, if your mind says, I can't do it, you will not do it. Your body can't do it. You will not do it. Nothing will work. Okay. It's in the mind. I always talk about the things I like to do, which is I like to golf. But I'm going to tell you, if I think I'm not going to hit a ball well, I will not. If I think I look at the water that's on my right side and think, I'm probably going to hit it there. I go, watch, I'm going to hit it there. I don't care how hard I try. Okay. I have to start thinking there is no water. There's no water. And when people used to tell me that there's no water there, I go, what are you blind? There's water there. I can see it. Okay. But it's about the mind. And people that do this, play golf, for example, will tell you whatever your mind says you're going to do, you're probably going to do it. The rest of the body follows the mind. If you're happy, your body will be happier. If you're sad, your body will feel depleted. It's the way it goes. So we know there'll be obstacles, there'll be doubters, there'll be mistakes, but if you work hard with your mind, if you get your mind right, there are no limits. And that was a statement by Michael Phelps. For those of you who don't know, he was an Olympic swimmer, probably. I don't know if he still has the most gold medals now or not. Somebody might have surpassed him. I can't remember now, but nonetheless, I think he won 7 gold medals in 1 Olympics. Okay, so we have this, and to be fair, Patty brought this out, and I had seen it before. So I'm going to read this. It's called Dirty Dishes. Somebody wrote this, and the author is unknown, but it says, when I was at one of my lowest mental points in life, I couldn't get out of bed some days. I had no energy or motivation and was barely getting by. I had therapy once a week. And on this particular week, I didn't have much to bring to the session. My therapist asked me how my week was, and I really had nothing to say. Therapist asked, what are you struggling with? I gestured around and said, I don't know, man. It's just life. Not satisfied with my answer, the therapist said, no, exactly what are you worried about right now? What feels overwhelming? when you go home after the session, what issue will be staring at you? I knew the answer, but it was so ridiculous that I didn't want to say it. I wanted to have something more substantial, something more profound, but I didn't have it. So I told him, honestly, it's the dishes. I know it's stupid. I know, but the more I look at them, the more I can't do them because I have to scrub them before I put them in the dishwasher because the dishwasher sucks. And I just can't stand and scrub. I can't stand to scrub all the dishes. She said, I felt like an idiot even saying it. What kind of grown woman is undone by a stack of dishes? There are people out there with actual problems, and I'm whining to my therapist about dishes. But my therapist nodded in understanding and then said, run the dishwasher twice. I began to tell him that you're not supposed to, but he stopped me. He said, why the hell aren't you supposed to? If you don't want to scrub the dishes and your dishwasher sucks, run it twice. Run it 3 times. Who cares? Rules do not exist. Stop giving yourself rules. It blew my mind in a way that I don't think I can properly express. That day I went home and tossed my smelly dishes haphazardly into the dishwasher and ran it 3 times. I felt like I had conquered a dragon. The next day I took a shower lying down. A few days later, I folded my laundry and put it wherever they fit. There were no arbitrary rules I had to follow, and it gave me the freedom to make accomplishments again. Now that I'm in a healthier place, I rinse off my dishes and put them in the dishwasher properly. I shower standing up and I sort my laundry. But at a time when living was a struggle instead of a blessing, I learned an incredible, important lesson. There are no rules. Run the dishwasher twice. Okay? There's no rules. What makes you happy? As long as you're not hurting anybody, do it. Don't beat yourself up because you're not what you think is the norm. Okay? You don't have what everybody else has. Let it go. Run the dishwasher twice. Run the vacuum twice. Don't vacuum. Who cares? Doesn't have to be done all the time and a schedule. It's okay. Leave stuff on the table if you want to leave it. Leave it on the counter if you want to leave it on the counter. My goodness, if I beat myself up for all the stuff's on my desk, I'd be a total mess. Okay? There's no rules. It's your rule. It's what you want to do that makes you feel good, that makes it work for you. One day you might run the dishwasher once, the next day you might run it 3 times. Who cares? It's all about the way you feel. But you got to look at it positive. Look at it, I ran the dishwasher 3 times and everything's clean and I'm happy. The next day you washed all the dishes by hand and you're happy. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. Get rid of the rules because there are none. Okay? Laughing. Okay? If you laugh, you will always be happy. You cannot laugh and be mad, sad, depressed. You can't. You have to look for ways to laugh. I look for things, and I woke up early this morning and I was on my phone and I was looking for something just to laugh about. It was a comedian, and I actually sent it to Patty early this morning because it made me laugh. Okay. That's the thing you want to do. You want to find something that makes you laugh. Old comedy makes me laugh. So it's the best form of therapy, laughing. Find out who makes you laugh. There are certain people that will make you laugh. Showing some pictures here of people that in the past have made people laugh. All right. I don't know who that guy is.
He's a new comic. He's a little vulgar, but he's kind of funny.
Okay. Yeah. Steve Martin. Depends on what you want. Some of the old this is one that
The Carol Burnett show.
Carol Burnett show with Tim Conway and
Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman.
They were hilarious.
I watched some of the old clips and I still
show was so funny.
Laugh.
It's Steve Harvey.
I love Steve Harvey to listen to him. He does some of the things. I can sit and in the evening, especially if it's been a long day and I'm just tired, I will pull up some Steve Harvey and Harvey Korman, and I will actually laugh out loud all by myself. And sometimes my sister will go, "What's so funny?" You wouldn't understand. It's just too funny to explain. Okay. little babies will make you laugh, okay? Go around a little baby that's about 3 years old and just watch them. They will start laughing for no reason, and that makes you laugh. Find people that make you laugh, things that make you happy and laugh. Quit looking for the negative. Quit looking for the politics and all the garbage that's on there. Everybody's slamming everybody. Look for people that are happy. Some of the old, like I said, some of the old comedy shows were funny. A lot of them couldn't make it today because there's so many rules. But now, hey, back then everybody laughed at everything. It was just funny. I don't care what you were. Okay. I used to watch Archie Bunker, and then the next show was
The
The Jeffersons.
Yeah.
And it was the two funniest shows. And one was about a white guy that was prejudiced and every other thing, and the other one, it was just so funny to watch one after the other. But now they couldn't show them because of rules. Okay.
They have them on like
Oh yeah.
syndicated TV.
Yeah,
Like, you
syndicated.
can still find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. My father watches Archie Bunker all the time.
Moving on up, right?
Jefferson.
Moving on up, right? So, but yes, we have to quit being offended by everything, okay? We gotta quit worrying about everything that's said by everybody else. You don't like it, don't watch it, but you know what? Find something that makes you happy and laugh. Turn off the news. Turn off the news, please, okay?
Yeah.
It won't make you laugh.
No.
Okay, so reframe your negative thinking. How do we do it? We have a couple things here for people that are in the area. Mind Fit. The Mind Fit is designed, it's a doctor who has many subjects, and you lie down, whether you're in a wrap, you can do it in a foot bath, or you can just come in and do it and listen to positive things. And there's topics on stress, there's topics on relationships, self-esteem, the Candida program, all kinds of things to help people get through.
It's guided meditation.
Yep.
And like John said, positive, changing your way of thinking.
And then our Zyto Evox, where we scan for information, positive information in your brain. We work on certain topics to help get rid of negative things and work on the things that we need to work on that are more positive in the brain. Those are things that can be done.
And if you come to our Southwick office, can grab that last
Go
paper.
ahead.
We have the biocharger, which is scientifically, I can't explain it, but it's light, it's frequencies and harmonics, it's voltage, and it's the PEMFs, the pulse electromagnetic fields that just brings energy to your body. With this, there's different, they call it recipes. So there's different topics that we can program it to. And it could be a 7-minute session, it could be a 25-minute session, and you just lay down in the room, sit quietly, and let the machine do its thing. And I know Michelle's done it. I'm not sure if anybody else that's been in the Southwick office. I've done it, John's done it. John, have you done
Michelle
it?
did it yesterday for her lungs because
that's right,
she
yeah.
felt better right away.
Have you done that? There's one for a golf swing.
I haven't done it yet.
So it's more about your muscles and stretching and relaxing, but you're just laying there and the lights from the machine are doing the work for you. It's
It
amazing.
emulates the natural lights that we're supposed to be getting,
Yeah.
that we don't get anymore.
And like walking on the earth barefoot,
Therefore,
walking in the sand, that type of energy that you get from the earth, that's what it
and that's why walking on the beach is so healthy,
Mhm.
because they're walking in sand barefoot. It's really good. I don't like to be barefoot except maybe in a beach, but and that's the flaw that I have. I just don't like to walk barefoot outside.
All right.
So you can schedule a Zyto, learn what your body needs, whether it's the mental, the physical, nutrients, etc. Most of you that are on here have had it. Even the people that are out of town have had it. We've sent the hand cradle to people. We can send it all over the country and do scans on anybody. So if you know anybody anywhere in the country that want to get scanned, want to know what's going on in their body, physical, mental, emotional, we can do that. And we're more than happy to do it for people. So I just sent one up to Boston here yesterday, day before. Okay, that's our presentation for tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us and being part of our team. I hope you learned something, and we're going to open it up for some questions and answer anything you might have. I don't know if there's anything in the chat box, is there?
There's a couple things, yeah.
Um,
Let's see, lots of things.
Lou's had to
All
leave.
right, Lou's left, okay.
Okay. Okay, Judy
Oh.
Straight just said she's reduced insulin 5 points and down 14 pounds since she started the program.
That's great, Judy.
Judy, give a wave if you're there.
Yeah, she's there,
Oh, there she is.
right next to us.
Okay,
Right, that's awesome.
beautiful.
Shirley said, welcome, Trish.
Thank you, Shirley.
And, oh, Judy also said, you are what you think.
Yes.
Great, yeah.
So Judy Straight, wave your hand so everybody sees who you are.
There she is. Okay.
Come off of mute and tell them where you're from. You're muted. She's talking, but she's muted. Can you unmute her? No.
I can ask her to unmute.
Okay.
Can
There
you
you go.
hear me
Hi,
now?
Judy. Go ahead.
I'm from Texas, but I live in Nevada now. I
Yeah.
live between Sin City and Death Valley.
Okay. So she's doing our program, long distance, like we can do anywhere. But I want to congratulate you on the changes, and she's not done yet. We're still moving forward. So we got a lot of work to do, but hey, you're doing it, and that's the key. Okay. Cynthia's on. She's starting a week from
28th.
28th, I think it is, you're starting. Okay. And we had a good consultation. So Cindy, there's people here that are been through the program, going through the program. So everybody is willing to answer questions. Join our group private Facebook page. A lot of these people will respond to you when you have questions. So you hear it from other people, not just us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did join and I was accepted. Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
I knew you'd be accepted. You passed the test.
yeah, I passed the test. I just
Okay,
know I'm really worried about doing it, but I'm sure I
Uh,
will.
Okay, remember, don't worry about the negative. Think about the positive. Think about how you're going to feel, how
Right.
your numbers, your diabetes is going to go away. That's what you got to think about, how good you're going to feel. If you
Yeah.
worry about how hard it's going to be hard.
Oh, I
Okay.
know. Yeah. I'm usually very positive, but I think I'm more afraid of giving up my coffee.
That's the one.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's true.
What was that, Lori? What did you just show? Lori King. Did you just put your supplements?
It
Oh, I
hasn't
thought you were
been that
showing
hard.
I just went coffee. That's tough for
Yeah.
me because I drink a
Yeah.
lot. That's all.
And my fingertips are just bothering me, that's all.
Oh, I thought you were showing something. Okay, sorry.
No.
All right. Michelle gave you some words of encouragement, Cindy.
Yes, I
You
saw
got
that.
this.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right. Yeah. Pretty much
Okay.
everything everyone on here has been through a program. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
No.
you're not alone.
I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
Did you put Georgiana in?
I did put Georgiana, yeah.
Okay, any questions?
I have to
Ask now.
ask something. It's,
Sure.
it's a new adventure going into the grocery store. It's like going into a foreign land because you
Yes.
can't eat any of it. Well, you can eat some, but it's an adventure finding the new things that you can eat that you like.
Mhm.
So it's not that hard.
Right.
Yeah, I've already.
But
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Cindy.
I was just gonna say I started today. I went into Costco because I saw the grass-fed meat or hamburger because I'm trying to start getting things, and it's like 3 pounds for like $25. I'm like, oh, so you do pay for the grass-fed beef, but I've only seen it in Costco. Anybody have an idea where else you can get it?
Stop and Shop, the
Oh,
Nature's Promise brand. They have organic grass-fed beef. Yeah.
oh, okay. Because I've seen
Yeah.
others organic, but it didn't say grass-fed. I was just.
Right.
I think that Aldi's has it and it's less expensive there.
Oh,
I'm
no
in
kidding.
Michigan.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like all these. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Walmart.
Good,
Lot of
thank-
I bought it when I go into a lot of people are buying meat, like they buy a lot of meat, and that's what they're going for. Yeah, my daughter buys it there.
I don't think I've ever bought meat there, so I'll look.
Yep, I have, and it's good.
Good. Oh,
I have
okay,
not
thank
been,
you.
I have not been disappointed.
Okay, great.
Good, good, wonderful.
Good.
This is why this is good, because people can share ideas and thoughts, okay? A lot of times we get hung up on certain store, whatever it might be, and we just
Yeah.
kind of get locked in. So this is great feedback from everybody.
Right, because like she
Yeah.
said, it is like trying to wade through everything, and it's almost like you just can't go in the middle. You just stay on the outside,
That's right. You
Frozen or
shop on the
fresh.
outside of the store.
Yeah.
There's not much in the middle you can have.
No.
But here, one thing Cindy mentioned something, and I'm just gonna address this. She said, you pay more for health. You're right, you can. But on the other side of the coin, the money you're spending right now on foods is making you sick. So you're spending money to be sick.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it from a different perspective, okay? So it goes back to the way we think about things. So just think, how much money have we spent on on stuff that made us sick?
Hmm.
Okay, so look at it from
Yeah.
that perspective.
Yeah.
Who else has a question or a thought? So Jane wasn't supposed to be with us tonight. She was supposed to be in Australia or New Zealand. I can't remember now. Sorry to hear that fell through, Jane. You fell? Sorry. So you're in New Mexico now, right?
Yeah, she's still
Okay.
home, yeah.
New Albuquerque. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Everybody done? I hope you learned something. We're gonna do our drawing. Okay, we have everybody's name in here. We give away 4 prizes. The first one is $100
Alternative health cash.
cash, yeah, alternative health cash. You can use it for product, services, whatever you want. You have to use it by the close of business on the 21st before our next class. If you snooze and let it lapse, you lose it. Okay? So all you have to do is call, order if you're out of town, if you're in town. So the first one for $100.
You have to use it by when did you say, John?
21st.
November 21st.
Oh, he said October 20th.
Oh, did I?
He said, you just said 20.
Oh,
He didn't say what month.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought he
okay.
said, oh, excuse me. That could be my senior
I
moment.
was trying to
I mean,
shut
and
that
no,
window, make a little narrower.
now.
I've been having a lot of moments today. It's my program that I'm on. My brain is detoxing.
Okay. The winner is
Jane. Jane wants $100.
okay. Well, you didn't get to go to New Zealand, but you won $100. I don't know if that's a good trade off or not, but the next one is for $50.
I want to say something about the skincare. I'm an esthetician and I was an instructor. And one of the things that I found was Melise skincare is excellent.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
It's wonderful. For
If-
those of you who've had facials in the office. Yep. Or use some other products.
And you can buy
yeah.
the product and use it at home, except for the facial lift.
Yep. And the $50 goes to Carol Angel. Another out of towner. Okay.
Now we're gonna do two $25.
From
Thank
New
you.
Mexico. You're welcome. New Mexico to
Mexico, we
Michigan.
got Michigan.
Oops. I think I got 2. Oh, which one? Okay,
The
that
first $50 or $25, I'm sorry.
Judy Spalding, you still on? There she is.
Judy, you
New
there?
Hampshire.
Okay, and the last $25.
Heather.
Heather, you still with us?
There she is.
Okay. I was just about ready to toss it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that's our winnings for this month. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, please reach out to us. Please call us. All I can tell you is be positive, work your brain as much as you want to work your physical body, because the brain controls everything. Be good if you don't know the answer. If you don't know an answer, go to somebody who can. We did this once before. You know, the best way to feel 20 years younger right now is, number one, have a healthy soul. It's your inner life is much more important than your outer life. Number two, stay positive towards yourself. We just talked about that. Nobody should think better of you than you do. Choose to be happy. You are as happy as you want to be. Number four, let it go. When you bury negative emotions, they will never, ever die. They'll be there forever. Number five, live in the present. Don't lose what you have while going after what you want. Too many of us, the grass is always greener somewhere else. Look at your yard. A lot of times it's really good. Number six, let go of control. Hold tightly to your dreams, but hold loosely to how God is going to do it for you. Number seven, unclutter your mind. You will never be at peace if your mind is a noisy place. Okay? Get it out of your head. Number eight, be comfortable not knowing. It's okay not to know everything. It's okay to say, I don't know, but I know the one who does. And number nine is live cause-driven. A lot of people aren't happy because they've allowed themselves to get ingrown. In other words, they get in a rut. They're in a rut. We can't get ourselves out of the rut. Okay? And Proverbs 17:22 says, a cheerful mind works healing. Okay? Get your mind right. Smile. I want everybody tonight to smile, to laugh. Find something to make you laugh tonight. You will sleep better.
Go home and watch Archie Bunker. Or you're home.
Okay.
Watch Archie Bunker.
Watch somebody do something. Okay. Laugh tonight. You will sleep better tonight. I promise you. And tomorrow you'll wake up feeling better. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be good. Just remember one thing. Clayton, what is it? Clayton still there?
Clayton's there, yeah.
What'd your dad always say? He's on mute, so I don't know if he's going to talk to us. His father, great man, he always said, every time you met him, he said,
Here it goes.
go ahead, Clayton.
We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. We're just going to love you. And we're going
And
to
you
love
know
you
what
well.
else what I was just thinking, that my self-esteem would have been much higher if I had won something.
I hear you. But Clayton, I knew you could handle it. So Patty didn't draw your name just for that reason. Okay, everybody have a wonderful evening.
Good night, all.
Hi,
Good
Joe. Good
night.
to
Thank
see you.
you, thank you.
God bless you
Bye-bye.
all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.